Hi, I'm Connor and I'm a landscape foreman here at Armstrong Garden and Landscapes. So I ran my own business for 6 years. Landscape is my trade. I've done that since I left school. And after it coming to a point where I could have expanded, I felt there was a need for me to get my headspace back. It's a lot to take on. I'm sure the guys, the bosses at Armstrong know it takes a lot to run a business. And it was a bit of a one-man show for me. You know, they've got a good thing going with the bosses in the background and they've got their teams out landscaping. But for me, it was all kind of down to me in terms of designing and quoting, and I was on site 5 days a week as well. So it was a lot for me. So last year I decided to just, came to a point where I was like, right, I need to just give this up and get back into employment. I did ponder with the idea of changing careers just because I wasn't sure. I've got a little boy, I need time with my wee boy, and I need decent pay as well. And I wasn't sure I could get that in landscaping, but Armstrong popped up, came for an interview with the guys, and they were all, they were really cool. They knew what they were talking about. They seemed like they've got a vision for the future, and it just seemed like it fitted in really well. And they gave me everything I wanted in terms of hours and pay and responsibility and creative input as well. So yeah, which is perfect for me. And I'd say I've been here for a couple of weeks, and it just seems like the right place for me to be at the right time. And I've got my twin brother starts on Monday, so it's going to be a bit of a family outing here. So yeah, it's just the right place at the right time for me. A lot of decisions get put on you at quite a young age, right? You're 14, 15, 16 now. Choose the subjects that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So I think, like a lot of people, I just fell into a trade or into a career, and that certainly happened to me. I was quite academic in school, but the university route didn't really appeal to me. And I ended up just falling into a job in landscaping, and I was a lackey, a grunter for a couple of years, working my way up and watching how things are done. And then, after 3-4 years of doing that, I got my chance to head up a team at a design company in Bridge of Allen, and I did so. And that's where my trade really, came to force, and I kind of learned a lot more about the trade, and then that pushed me into my own field of landscaping to run my own business. So yeah, I mean, as I say, I just fell into it, and these things happen, and I'm good with my hands, and I like being outside. The job satisfaction's really good. You get to come in every day and you see a job from start to finish. It comes, it could be a mud pit and then it looks beautiful at the end. So, the job satisfaction's there, and being outside, and yeah, all of that's just great. As I say, I'm new here. I've been here for a couple of weeks, but I think, as I say, they've got a good thing going. I don't think Fraser, Owen or Jack, the three main guys that I know of in the business, they're not, well-trained landscapers, I wouldn't say, but that's where they put the responsibility onto their own guys, which I like. Fraser's got a really good business head. Owen runs the teams. Jack's a designer, so they've got their little office thing going on, and as I say, they pass the right amount of responsibility onto the guys, and that's rewarded through pay and bonus schemes and things. So as I say, I think they've got a good thing going, and I definitely enjoy that part about it, the responsibility. But it seems like a good place to work. All the guys are good, the bosses are good, and you get treated with respect, which is one of the main things. And your trade and your knowledge is treated with respect as well. They don't try and push anything on top of you. They understand that you are the landscapers and they are the businessmen, and you get that responsibility from them, which I like as well. So my favourite thing about my job, in the summertime it's definitely being outside. In the wintertime not so much. It can be a bit of a slog in the cold, wet, damp, dark winter months, but generally being outside, keeping fit as well. You don't really need a gym membership. Landscaping is one of the toughest trades in terms of physical manual labour. You definitely need to get stuck in, but I like that about it. I like to get stuck in and shifting tons of type 1 or tons of soil. I like that part. And then the job satisfaction, from start to finish. You come into a mud pit, and then as the job progresses and when it finishes, and you see the difference it makes to the client's life as well. You don't get that in many careers, seeing an immediate difference that it can make to somebody's life. So yeah, the job satisfaction is definitely up there, and being outside, yeah. It's a team, it's a big team, and you're also, although you're working separately, everybody kind of bands in together, and I think it just looks like a good place to be, and everybody's kind of got each other's back, which is good to know. So the first week I worked on different teams, just seeing how things run. So I've seen a few jobs at various points throughout the projects. So this is genuinely my first one. So there you go. So I've got a little boy, so I spend a lot of time with my little boy. He's very much into knights and swords, so I usually take a beating most nights, and he goes from plastic swords to wooden swords, so now it's just, and he doesn't stop either. He's like, I've got a shield, like I'm defending myself. I'm not pretending to defend myself from my 4-year-old son. I'm like, no, I like playing board games, card games, stuff like that. Just kind of social, like kind of things, rather than sitting down on the computer watching telly. Downtime I try to spend as socially as possible. And other than that, just spending time with family and my wee boy. That's the main things I do. There's a ladder to landscaping, but it's not a huge one. You're either a lackey, a landscaper, or a foreman. you know, or you're the boss. And because I've been the boss and I've been the lackey in my life, that I see this isn't a halfway house for me. You know, it's a job for life, and they're growing. As I say, they give you creative input, they give you responsibility, and I think there's scope for me to grow within the company as they are growing, and they've got a vision, and I'm looking forward to just being part of that growth as much as I can be and they're allowed to be. You know, I'll give as much as I'm allowed.